Hey Scarra, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well.
Can you please introduce yourself a little bit?
Yes, I'm Scarra from Team Dignitas. I play AP mid for the team. We've been around for a long time, and we just played in IPL 4.
Okay, so I do have a little bit of questions for you for IPL 4. Um, we saw you play three supports with Soraka mid, which is completely shifting the metagame. Was this a trick up your sleeve or something that was decided just before the match?
Uh, we planned on using those champions during the IPL 4. When we knew that strategy would potentially be very strong, we didn't really practice the entire strategy for too many games ahead of time, but we practiced the individual champions a lot in different games before.
Okay. So can you tell us how you came up with this combination?
Um, it's honestly a lot of trial and error. Like usually someone on the team is like, this champion would be good, and then another person's like, this champion would be good against this champion, and then another person's like, oh, this could work out well. And we usually test a lot of what people say could work out well, could not work out well, and then after that, after a certain point, we find out if it clicks or not. And sometimes stuff clicks really fast. I remember Lulu top took a little bit to click, but stuff like Lee Sin top clicked super fast for Voy, and Voy was just like really, really good at him.
Mhm.
So yeah,
So it's definitely trial and error then.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so what is it like to play Soraka in mid?
Um, it's honestly a little bit boring. Like, she's mechanically she doesn't require much to do well to excel in lane. I feel like a lot of Sorakas play the mid matchup wrong. They play super aggressive, where you don't need to be as aggressive as possible. All you need to do is split farm, and as soon as you get one or two items, she becomes really, really strong. I feel that she's going to get nerfed soon because people have realized that she's pretty strong mid lane. So I hope it actually comes pretty quickly because I'm not a huge fan of playing her mid, to be honest. Like, I'd much rather play other champions.
It worked so well for you guys. Were you afraid that after beating out CLG, were you afraid that TSM was actually going to develop a counterattack for that?
No, no. I know the champions that they play, and the champion versatility of top lane uh, can't beat Lulu. Darius just doesn't have a champion that can beat Lulu. And middle lane, Soraka beats every champion Reggie uses, except for, I think, one. And so I wasn't too worried. Like, I knew they had to ban at least one, if not both, and I was
Okay.
correct.
That's good.
Because the next day they
Confidence
came
is
in banning
good.
both. Yeah.
Is when you play Soraka mid, is there anything that you have to look out for?
It's always looking out for the jungle because you can pretty much win 1v1 against almost anyone. But like he has a kind of Mordekaiser vibe where like if you overextend to look for pressure, you could potentially become ganked. So you have to be very, very careful when you do that.
Okay, cool. So how did you enjoy the rest of your stay in Las Vegas for IPL?
The hotels were awesome. Like I really, really liked our rooms, and the accommodations are very nice for players. Um, Aside from the lack of soundproof like rooms
Mhm.
for the players, I think IPL 4 was a fantastic event. And even without the soundproof things, it wasn't too much of a big deal. I would just like them for future events so that the spectators would get more out of it because it was really obvious once a team won or lost because they just like either cheered or like looked really sad, and it kind of
Yeah.
spoiled the moment about 3 minutes before the game ended.
I actually did notice that a lot because I would actually, when I was doing photography and sitting behind, your team and sitting, taking pictures of the other team, I would notice the sad faces. I would notice the talk, the discussion, and definitely yeah, the cheers. So soundproof rooms is a good idea. Maybe like the booths they have for StarCraft, maybe.
Yeah, like the OGN booths for League of Legends, it would be very nice. And I've heard they actually said that the next IPL will have them, so I'm very excited for that in 5 months, 5, 6 months.
That sounds very promising. Well, thank you very much for your time. It was great seeing you again. Is there anything you want to say?
Yes, I'd like to thank our fans, first of all, for supporting us. Without you, we wouldn't be where we are. I'd like to thank my team, Domine, Voy, Locust, and QtPie. I'd like to thank all of them, even though I stuttered at the last bit because QT
How
is
could you forget Cutie
crazy.
Pie?
Yeah, he's I don't know, man. It's impossible to forget him. I'd also like to thank our sponsors, Alienware, Intel, Antec, Scan, as well as our other big sponsors. creative. You can follow me at dscarra on Twitter. That's pretty
Okay.
much it.
Perfect. All right. Thank you.